Hey, morning everyone. Scott Welsh again, Luxury Car Care. This is, I think, the third video now for the Tesla Model Y and kind of what I'm going through for my new car and all the cleaning and upgrades and everything else. So today is all about the detail. So I'm going to basically clean, I'm going to take you through the process I use. Doesn't mean that if someone else uses a different process that they're just wrong, it just means it's different. I'm not necessarily going to talk about product brands per se. That seems to be the big thing right now, is just brand. There's 100 different brands you can use for a lot of the different type chemicals. What I'm going to do is kind of talk through the type of chemicals I'm using, so you can just get an idea of what I do to try to get a car clean and looking as new as possible. I will preface this is obviously a new car. It's got 19 miles on it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't need to be detailed. The car is dirty, even though it looks to be the Tesla tried to wash it. And then Tesla washed it. They probably induced some scratching in the paint for sure. And my plan is to PPF this, to put paint protection film on it, and I don't want to put paint protection film over paint that's not perfect. So my first step in that is to clean it. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to do all the wheels first. I'm going to clean them. I'm going to iron out them. I'm going to clean the wheel wells, make sure all that is clean as possible. Even though these wheels are going away at some point in the future, in the short term, I'm going to be obviously using them, so I'm going to clean them. I probably won't worry so much about protecting them. When I get the new wheels, I will end up cleaning and ceramic coating those. And then also the brake calipers I'll clean, but I plan on getting them powder coated. So for now, again, I will not be ceramic coating the calipers, but once they get powder coated, they will also get ceramic coated. So wheels, I have a general wheel and tire cleaner that I use from P&S. It's called Brake Buster. Again, 100 different options. You can also use like an all-purpose cleaner to clean the wheel well. Generally, I would suggest some sort of rubber tire cleaner for the tire, just because it does a better job of cleaning. And these have, I'll show you here, you know, these were coated with something slick by Tesla or whoever prepped the car for sale. You can see it's slung up all over the car, all over the paintwork. I mean, you might not be able to see it on camera, but there's sling marks all over the place. So all that's got to come off. So I'll get the rubber tires pretty cleaned up. We'll clean the wheels up. And then once all four wheels are done, we'll move on to the body. I'll rinse it all down, and then I'll spray foam. I'll use spray foam. I have a foamer here, right there. Foam the whole car, and then I'll give it a good wash. 2-bucket method, rinse and wash. I have a pressure washer here, a very good pressure washer, so I'll be using that because that generally helps with the cleaning. The car's not overly dirty, but it needs a good bath. Making sure to get off whatever they may have put on it to begin with. And once it's washed on the outside, I'll also go through and I'll do all the door jambs. The door jambs are very dirty. They didn't do anything with the jambs. So I'll make sure that they get washed. And then at that point, once it's washed, I'll do a full iron out on it. So I'll spray the entire thing down with Gtechniq's iron out, fallout remover. Make sure that any iron that's embedded in the paint is removed. I'll do all that outside. I'll rinse it down with the pressure washer, and then I'll bring it back in here, and I'll take a look at the paint. It may not need to be clayed. If it does, I have a soap. I just use a water soap mix, and then some good clay bar, and I'll go over and clay any area that feels like it needs to be clayed. Generally, if it doesn't need to be clayed, you can take like a rubber glove or a plastic bag over your hand. Just wipe the paint. If it's smooth, then generally it's in good shape. If it feels catchy or you feel little bumpies, then you probably want to go ahead and give it a clay. I generally do the clay, but after I do a full wash and iron out decontamination. So at that point, and then I'll just wipe the whole thing down with IPA, like isopropyl alcohol, and that'll kind of baseline the paint. That'll give me a clean, uncontaminated surface to then evaluate, and that'll be my next video. I'll do an evaluation of the paint real fast with a paint depth gauge to see what we're dealing with. I'll take a light and just go around and see where the worst spots are. I'm thinking generally a pretty light one-step polish on this. There may be one or two small areas I've noticed that are going to need a little bit more, but that'll be it. So today we're going to do a wash. I'll probably video a little bit of it and then speed you through or cut you kind of towards the end as I bring it in. But I'll try to bring you through and at least have you watch each major step. All right, I'll be back. I'm gonna finish filling the buckets here, get the pressure washer set outside, and then I'll catch you back up when we get out. Thanks. All right, guys. I'm all set up here. I got the car outside. My wheel bucket. It's got just some pH neutral soap, just because I like the suds. Wheel brush. I use Easy Detail. Tire brush. Here, tire brush. I have another, bigger brush for the wheel wells, and I have some other smaller brushes in here. I have a wheel woolly as well, just for to do the front faces. So I'm going to pressure wash the wheel well until it kind of runs clear and looks good and clean, and then pressure wash the wheel, and then I'll get into it with the chemicals and clean it all up. Obviously, it's a new car, so dirt on some blood from them driving it. I think after they cleaned it at Tesla, but just superficial, so it's right off. I don't think we even have to scrub that at all. You can see they have some gooped up gel stuff on the tires, so we're going to try to get rid of that right now. So I just use a wheel and tire cleaner. It does both. I also have some specific wheel cleaner for real heavy duty, oxidized wheels, or you can use all-purpose cleaner. But this seems to work pretty well. So I'll spray the whole wheel down, let it boil for a minute, and then we'll brush it all down and get it clean. The tires twice, because they put that product on it. I'm not even sure this stuff's going to take it off, but we'll give it a shot here. And then normally I'd spray the wheel wells down with some all-purpose cleaner, but again, I'm not going to. There's no need. Just a waste of chemicals. It looks pretty good. So, typical process. Take each detail, start at the top, and go through each spoke. Get all the way back in the wheel cavity, get it around the brake valve. there's actually more brake dust than I expected, but especially for Tesla, since it uses regenerative braking for stopping. Residue and road dirt behind in here that you won't get otherwise. Obviously no wheel caps because I took the hubcap off. It doesn't come with, you know, the center cap is integrated into the wheel cap on the Tesla, on those Teslas on these wheels, so I'll probably go without until I just replace the whole thing. Clean tires, I mean, can't beat it. Alright. Same thing on the other three, obviously. Wheels, tires, wheel wells, and that'll wrap that up, and then I'll move on to the body. I'll bring you back. Okay. Alright, I'm going to do a voiceover here. Sorry, the wind just became excessive, and it was very tough to hear me and very loud on the microphone. So to save your ears, I'm going to just talk through this short clip here. So I'm rinsing the car down. This is the first step before I do anything to the body. I just try to get the heavy stuff off. If the car is extremely dirty, I'll also give it I usually spray it down with some IPA, particularly down around the rocker panel areas. Or if the front has very heavy bugs, I'll spray bug remover, bug dissolver on those areas as well, and then let that dwell for a little bit. Give it a hard rinse, just trying to get all the heavy stuff off the car. Obviously, this is a newer car, and they had washed it at Tesla, I think, so it doesn't have a lot of heavy dirt on it, but I will say it does. They did put some sort of spray sealant on it because you can see it beating up. So I'm going to make sure I'm going to use some strip shampoo that helps to strip any waxes or polishes off the car. So that'll all be gone here when I'm done. So it's been rinsed, and now I'm going to spray foam the car down with my foam cannon. You can see it has a good, I like a thicker foam, but not too thick. I want it to be able to still run and you know, dwell a little bit, but then run off the car. And as it runs, it's helping to break the dirt up and remove the dirt off the paint. So that's what I'm doing here. This is a strip shampoo, so at the same time, it should be starting to strip the sealant, whatever sealant they put on the car. So I'll spray the whole car down here, and then let it dwell for a little bit, and then you'll see me come in with some detail brushes to start working my way around the car.
All right, so we'll continue with the washing process. Now that the foam has dwelled a little bit, you're just going to see me using a detail brush. I think it's Tough Stuff detail work tough detail brush. I'm just making my way all around the car, getting in all the areas that perhaps the sponge, the microfiber may not get, and just brushing it through and making sure the soap's worked in there and gotten any loose dirt or impediments out. Uh, that's a pretty quick process. And then once I've worked my way all around lights, windows, grill, the front grill area, vent area, and so on, then you'll see me get the wash mitt out and start washing as well. Oh yeah, these door handles are tough too. You see me doing here with the indent. So there is dirt that gets back in there. So you do have to um, literally open the door handle up and then get back in and try to wash some of that dirt out with the brush. Just wipe it out. And then I'll use a 2-bucket method for the washing. What that basically means is I have a rinse bucket, which is just clean water, and a wash bucket, which has some pH neutral soap in it. And I'm going to go to the car, I'll wash a section, I'll flip the mat typically, the sponge typically, and wash another section, and then I'll come back to the buckets and I'll do a rinse of the microfiber mitt and then back into the wash bucket, and I'll continue around the car like that until it's been fully washed. And then to wrap things up, I'll do a full rinse on it. So enjoy, and I'll be back here in a few minutes.
looks a lot better. I used a soap that helps to strip waxes and sealants. And did a pretty good job. All that beading and stuff, which would have lasted probably a week or two anyway. A lot of that's gone. I mean, there's still some left, but it's a lot flatter than it was, which is what I want to see. When I do an IPA wipe down or some sort of panel wipe down, the rest of that will come off. It looks pretty good. So I'm going to do the door jambs and then iron out.
So I moved into the iron removal process here. I'm actually using McGuire's iron and wheel decon, paint and wheel decon. It's pretty good stuff using it at full strength. I've had some camera issues because of the wind, so you're gonna, I hopped into this pretty quick. I have maybe half the car done, so you just gotta watch. You gotta keep the car wet, and or at least not let the iron decon chemical dry on the car. So you'll see me spray it every now and then just to make sure nothing's drying. And then I'm just working my way around, spraying it on the paint, on all the windows and glass, and rubbing it in to make sure that I've covered all the surfaces. And then I'll switch over here to the inside real quick, and I explain why, but basically the wind was wreaking havoc with the cameras. So critical step here as part of the decontamination process, to get the iron out of the paint, and it was in pretty bad shape. So we'll wrap this up here, and I'll wrap things up on the inside of the garage. Thanks.
Hey guys, sorry, I'm back.
camera fell over, super windy outside, so I wrapped up out there, finished doing the iron remover. It was actually, it was pretty bad. I couldn't believe it. There were, the whole car, paint, all the paint was covered in iron particles. I was shocked. This was just built, I don't know, 5 weeks ago or something, I think. I mean, literally when I ordered it, he's like, oh, there's one in build. And then 2 weeks later, it was delivering. So, couldn't have been built more than 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago. Anyway, I'm assuming they come in by train and just deposits a ton of iron on your car. So if you think your car is clean and not contaminated when you get it, you're wrong. If it's Tesla, well, generally in any car. So it's cleaned, wheels are done, wheel wells, tires, washed all the paint, a few spots of adhesive, I took care of that, ironed out the whole thing. So the paint now feels pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna need any clay bar. I mean, typically clay bar is going after embedded particles that you get, you know, as it sits outside. And yeah, it's a brand new car. I don't think there's a reason to. I don't feel anything on it. It feels super clean now. I'll go around and just make sure, but otherwise I'm just gonna dry it, wipe all the jams down, wipe all the paint down very lightly with a clean microfiber drying towel, and just kind of then blow out all the crevices and just let it sit for a little bit and dry out. And then that'll wrap that up, and then it's just onto the paint, which should be the next video. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you're learning a little bit and enjoying it. And she's gonna be a monster when she's done. She's gonna be really nice, real pretty. All right, thanks. See ya.